6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madavella and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The Prime Minister says that the Premier will not be made a nominal role through the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. The government intends to introduce certain amendments to the proposed 20th Amendment to the Constitution at the committee stage in Parliament. The owner of the building that collapsed in Buvalikada Kandy has been remanded. The total number of positive COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka moves to 3,374. A report says 2/5 of plants at risk of extinction. In foreign news, Kuwait names Crown Prince as new Emir. In sports news, Manchester City signed Benfica defender Ruben Diaz on 6-year deal. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the Premier will not be made a nominal role through the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. Responding to the questions raised by heads of media institutions during a meeting held yesterday, he noted that he stands by the government's stance on the 20th Amendment. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that plans are afoot to construct a 100-unit housing scheme in each electorate. The Premier said the construction work of the project is expected to commence without delay. The government has given priority to solve the housing problem of the people. The Premier stressed that no element is allowed to create atrocities in the north. The subject minister has been instructed to take necessary steps to pay the 1,000 rupee allowance to the estate workers. The Minister of Industries Vimal Veeravansa said that the anti-corruption committee, which was set up by the Yahapalana regime to prevent fraud, has also committed a large number of corrupt deeds. He added that the so-called committee has misappropriated over 30 million rupees of public funds during the past few years. The government intends to introduce certain amendments to the proposed 20th Amendment to the Constitution at the committee stage in Parliament, the Attorney General submitted to the Supreme Court yesterday. Attorney General Dappula Dilivera PC made these remarks when 39 special determination petitions filed challenging the constitutionality of the proposed 20th Amendment to the Constitution were taken up before the Supreme Court 5-judge bench. The Attorney General said he has received written instructions from the government along with the proposed amendments that the government intends to introduce certain amendments to the bill at the committee stage. The Attorney General tendered in court a document containing the proposed committee stage amendments. The copies of the document were handed over among all parties, including the petitioners and intervenient petitioners. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The owner of the building that collapsed in Buvalikada Kandy, Anura Leuke, has been remanded by the Kandy Magistrate Courts. A 5-storied building on Sangamita Mavatha in Buvalikada Kandy collapsed onto a nearby house on September 20th, and a family of 3, the father, mother and a 1.5-month-old infant, were killed in the incident. While the owner of the collapsed building, former Basnayaka Inlame of the Duranvalanath Devale, Anura Leuke, claimed that the building was built to proper standards with the necessary approval, broad investigations were launched into the incident. The Navy, with the assistance of the police, apprehended a suspect with about 952 kilograms of dried turmeric during a special search operation conducted at Irukalampidi in Mannar recently. The consignment of turmeric is believed to have been smuggled into the country by sea routes. This large consignment of dried turmeric stuffed in 31 delivery sacks had been found after searching a suspicious house at Irukalampidi in Mannar by the North Central Naval Command in coordination with the Police Division Vice Branch Mannar during a special search operation. The total number of positive COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka moved to 3,374 yesterday as 2 persons were confirmed to have contracted the virus. The latest positive cases are recent arrivals from Lebanon and the United Arab Emirates, the Department of Government Information said. Further, the recoveries from COVID-19 in Sri Lanka moved up to 3,230 after 20 more patients were discharged from hospitals earlier today upon returning to health. The epidemiology unit says 131 active cases are currently under medical care. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidamahatmya in every home.
news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Cabinet of Ministers has approved Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's proposal to ban cattle slaughter with immediate effect. Cabinet spokesman Mass Media Minister Kehelia Rambukwala told the post-cabinet media briefing held yesterday that the Cabinet of Ministers also approved a few other proposals tabled by the Prime Minister with regard to the ban on cattle slaughter. Accordingly, Cabinet approval has been granted to take immediate measures to amend the Animal Act No. 29 of the 1958 Cattle Slaughter Ordinance No. 9 of 1893 and other related laws and regulations passed by the local authorities regarding cattle slaughter. The Cabinet of Ministers also approved the proposal to take immediate measures to import beef required to meet the local demand and provide them at a concessionary price. Cabinet approval has also been granted to implement a suitable program for aging cattle that cannot be used effectively for agricultural purposes.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has released the Sri Lanka Socio-Economic Data 2020, the annually published data folder, which is now available for public information. The current data folder is the 43rd volume of the series. The publication is available online. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
People's Leasing, the trusted leader. From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, a report says 2/5 of plants at risk of extinction. Armenia says its fighter jet shot down by Turkey. Kuwait names Crown Prince as new emir. 2/5 of the world's plants are at risk of extinction, scientists have warned. Researchers say they are racing against time to name and describe new species before they disappear. Plants hold huge promise as medicines, fuel and food, says a report by the Royal Botanic Gardens. But opportunities are being lost to use plants to address global issues such as food security and climate change. The assessment of the state of the world's plants and fungi is based on research from more than 200 scientists in 42 countries. The report was released on the eve of a United Nations summit, which will press for action from world leaders to address biodiversity loss. Armenia says one of its fighter jets was shot down by a Turkish jet in a major escalation of the conflict over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region. The Armenian Foreign Ministry said the pilot of the Soviet-made Su-25 died after being hit by the Turkish F-16 in Armenian airspace. Turkey, which is backing Azerbaijan in the conflict, has denied the claim. Nearly 100 people, including civilians, have died in 3 days of fighting over the disputed mountainous region. The region is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but has been run by ethnic Armenians since the 1988-94 war between the two former Soviet republics. Kuwaiti Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Jabir Al-Sabah on Tuesday was named the new emir after the death of the late Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmad Al-Jabir Al-Sabah. The government praised for the success of the new ruler in his efforts to ensure the security and growth of the country. The Kuwaiti Deputy Prime Minister Anas Al-Saleh said in a statement, Sheikh Nawaf was born on June 25, 1937. The late Kuwaiti Emir Sheikh Sabah passed away at the age of 91 yesterday. And now the main points of the World News segment. Once again, a report says 2/5 of plants at risk of extinction. Armenia says its fighter jet shot down by Turkey. Kuwait names Crown Prince as new emir. That's World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
People's Leasing, the trusted leader. From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, Energy Minister Udaya Gammanpilla said Sri Lanka has received very positive signals from the natural gas and oil extraction process from 3 basins in the northeast coast. Several follow-up initiatives too have been taken in this regard both locally and internationally. The minister has said the natural gas and oil extraction would be the paradigm shift of the Sri Lankan economy, and it is to this effect that a special energy minister was appointed. He said that a decision was taken by the government to recommence exploration recently and also to attract more investors to the industry. In addition, a natural gas policy to attract more investors to explore oil and gas in Sri Lanka is already prepared. That was development news, and now in sports news, Manchester City have signed 23-year-old defender Ruben Dias from Benfica on a 6-year deal for about £65 million. The Argentine centre-back Nicolas Otamendi has moved the other way for £13.7 million. Dias becomes City boss Pep, third significant summer signing following the arrivals of defender Nathan Ake and forward Ferran Torres. To have the opportunity to join a club like Manchester City is a fantastic opportunity for me, and I couldn't turn it down, said Diaz. That was sports news.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Hundreds of thousands of aviation jobs are at risk without more state aid, a global industry body has warned. The International Air Transport Association downgraded its 2020 traffic forecasts after a dismal end to the summer travel season. The association, which represents 290 airlines, says it expects traffic to be 66% below the level it was in 2019. The IATA estimates that it will be at least 2024 before air traffic reaches pre-pandemic levels. A second surge in COVID-19 cases and more government restrictions meant the sector has not seen a strong rebound.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Economic News, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The 16th annual Build Sri Lanka Housing and Construction International Exhibition 2020, organised by the Chamber of Construction Industry, Sri Lanka, will be held from October 2nd to the 4th of the BMICH 2020. This expo will be opened on the 2nd of October at 9 a.m. by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and the State Minister of Rural Housing and Construction and Building Material Industries Indika Anuruddha and State Minister of Urban Development, Coast Conservation, Waste Disposal and Community Cleanliness Nalaka Godaheva.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th phase offer from 14th September to 11th October. Win gifts worth in 100,000s for every over 3,000 rupees bill. Visit CIB today.
Showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Several spells of showers may occur in the northwestern, northern and north-central provinces. Thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Batticaloa and Ampara districts after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy rainfall, about 50 millimeters, are likely at some places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Strong gusty winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected across the island, particularly in the northern, north-central and northwestern provinces, the Trincomalee and Hambantota districts and in the western slopes of the central hills.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th phase offer from 14th September to 11th October. Win gifts worth in 100,000s for every over 3,000 rupees bill. Visit CIB today.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The Prime Minister says that the Premier will not be made a nominal role through the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. The government intends to introduce certain amendments to the proposed 20th Amendment to the Constitution as a committee stage in Parliament. The owner of the building that collapsed in Bhuvelikadakandi has been remanded. The total number of positive COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka moves to 3,374. A report says 2/5 of plants at risk of extinction. In foreign news, Kuwait names Crown Prince as new Emir. In sports news, Manchester City signed Benfica defender Ruben Diaz on 6-year deal. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host Victor Raj to keep you in great company this Wednesday morning. Over to you, Victor.